steering through the challenging sluice, dangerous fire on the water, and beautiful fishing teamwork. Farming ain't no walk in the park, so how do they deal with these problems? Vietnam is one of the world's top 3 rice exporters, and the Mekong Delta in the south is the country's rice bowl, providing 90% of its rice exports. The massive structure you can see on your screen is the largest sluice gate in the delta, built to prevent floods and saltwater intrusion. Its 10 gates automatically adjust to water pressure, making the river a wild ride, especially in the afternoon. Going through this powerful current is no small feat for any boat. These boats must be sturdy, otherwise they'll end up like this sand barge that suddenly broke in half on February 25th, 2023. This small rice boat was luckier because when it was capsized, a couple operating a crane happened to pass by and help hoist the boat out for free. But successfully going through this sluice is just the first round. This small boat met with another accident when it collided with a concrete pillar in the middle of the river. Steering through a large river, especially with a strong current like this one, is a job for experts. The strong current is very unpredictable, posing a risk of capsizing and causing damage or injury. Safety is paramount in such conditions. While wet wooden surfaces aren't typically slick, once they're painted, the risk of slipping and falling dramatically increases. It was too late when the captain suddenly changed the direction. This 10-meter long boat got stuck and was submerged in less than 2 minutes. These are other dangerous situations. Fortunately, no serious accidents occurred. This not only happens during peak hours, but also when the sluice gate is about to close. Ships accelerate in order to make it through. Built in 2002, this 10-gate sluice has only 5 remotely controlled gates. The remaining gates operate automatically based on water pressure differences. If you think these collisions aren't a big deal, think again. Some locals build their homes on these small boats because it's so convenient for them to work and it suits their meager income. So these damages will cost them a lot to repair. Not to mention, the agricultural products being transported have now drifted away on this big river. Vietnam's coconut industry ranks 4th in the world, so on this river you'll see many large coconut boats. The boats you're seeing on the screen can carry up to 1,200 coconuts, equivalent to around 13,500 pounds. Just one moment of haste on a swift-flowing river and this family has lost their home. This is a heartbreaking sight for those whose livelihoods depend on the water. Do you believe this large boat can beat the current? The water is actually much stronger than you think. The larger the boat, the larger the engine required. Many large boats cannot pass through even though the engine is running at full capacity. This boat has failed to pass through this sluice gate 3 times. It made it to the middle of the sluice gate but got stuck and was hit by a ship from behind. Look at this small boat. Going upstream amongst these large boats is very dangerous without help. This is why you should avoid crossing the sluice gate during peak hours if you're this size. As a result, the boat capsized and oil spilled all over the river. Even the large ships are struggling in rush hour. This boat was pushed back by the current and collided with a large ship. Very quickly, water flooded into the boat and caused it to sink to the bottom of the river. Even with the added power of smaller tugboats, this massive ship, carrying nearly 4,000 logs, was no match for the river's relentless force. This boat tried to cross the current more than 4 times but was unsuccessful. In the end, it was eventually forced back to its starting point. What you're seeing now is a boat with a fishing net attached to its bow. Perhaps this is the fisherman's first time out. Crossing the river is a demanding and dangerous job when there are risks that are inherent and unavoidable. Take a closer look at the boat's hull on the left side of the screen. Despite the boat's seemingly slow movement, the damage is quite significant. Fires on water might sound contradictory, but they happen all over the world. Then they can not only damage ships, but also households living along the river. Around 3:30 p.m. on July 10, 2023, a fishing vessel docked at the southernmost port of Vietnam suddenly caught fire. The heat was so intense that this man had to spray water on the firefighters as they battled the blaze. It quickly spread to 8 other boats nearby. Because of the strong wind and with the canal almost dry, the boats had a very hard time escaping. After 30 minutes, the fire was extinguished and the incident caused around $316,000 in damages. On April 15, 2020, the J Paper Mill in Maine made headlines for a massive explosion that rocked the plant. The mill's pulp processing had built up combustible gases and tragically ignited. Remarkably, no one was injured. Next up, the cotton fields. Cotton is a highly flammable material. All it takes is a static discharge or a bit of heat friction, and this seemingly innocent white fluff can spark a fast-spreading fire. It is in the cotton factories where things can get truly explosive. On August 22, in China, a worker was too curious to know what would happen if he held a lighter near the newly produced foam. Now let's journey to the billion-person nation of India. This is perhaps the most participated in fishing competition. The fishermen rush towards the lake, each carrying a handmade bamboo fish trap, their faces filled with excitement. These traps are only effective in shallow water or mud. This type of fishing is a display of skill, speed, and sometimes teamwork. The trick is scooping up as many fish as you can by pinning them down with a trap against the muddy bottom. Big sea, big ship. No, the Indians don't think so. This boat is just 3.2 feet long, proving that it's not about the size, it's about how you drive. India ranks 3rd in the world's top fishing countries, followed by China and Indonesia. The boat engine breaks through the calm Arabian Sea. These fishermen are out to catch Indian mackerel using the purse seining method. It is the most consumed fish in the country. These guys catch more than 8,500 pounds of fish each week. Pulling up this amount of fish isn't an easy task. These men need to be both physically fit and mentally strong, and that's why they're cheering each other on while harvesting. It's truly a beautiful sight to watch them working together. African fishermen face a similar situation, but their working conditions are much harsher. Everything is done by hand, yet they only earn as little as €3 a day. In the context of modern agriculture, the application of technology in the production process is gradually becoming a key factor in helping farmers optimize productivity. Instead of spending hours on hard labor, machines can now harvest quickly large quantities of crops from vast fields. Parsley is a well-known aromatic herb, commonly found in most kitchens in Italy and beyond. It is primarily used to garnish various dishes and as a natural flavor enhancer. However, parsley is a very delicate plant, easily damaged during the harvesting process. Farmers use modern machinery as a solution to ensure the plant is not harmed in any way. Parsley can be grown year-round. It is harvested 2 to 3 months after sowing when its height exceeds 20 centimeters. Harvesting machines cut with precision, with the cutting height adjusted by special sensors. Meanwhile, a specialized front cutting head ensures maximum protection of the young plants during transportation. After cutting, the parsley branches fall onto rollers positioned just behind the blades. These rollers gently pull up the parsley without breaking or damaging the leaves. In some modern machines, there may be preliminary cleaning components to remove dirt and impurities from the parsley branches as they are conveyed onto the conveyor belt. The parsley branches are then transferred to a storage bin. This bin often has an adjustable height to accommodate the harvested parsley. It also has a layering and light compression function to optimize storage space. When the bin is full, the parsley is unloaded from the machine into trucks or storage areas. Parsley continues to grow even after numerous harvests, as long as the right methods are used and the harvester operates efficiently. Farmers typically wait at least 7 to 10 days between harvests to allow plants time to recover. The harvester also plays a crucial role in the cultivation process, helping to increase productivity and protect the quality of certain flowers such as tulips. Around April to May, tulip fields start to bloom, and tulip cutting machines are used to cut the flowers immediately. The machine head is equipped with sharp cutting blades that work in tandem with conveyor belts to cut the flowers from the stems. These blades are adjusted to a specific height to ensure that only the flowers are cut without affecting the leaves or bulbs. Machine cutting not only speeds up the process, but also ensures that the tulip fields don't get exhausted. This process can generate 2 to 5 new bulbs, allowing the yield for the next season to multiply several times over. At the same time, it prevents the bulbs from depleting their nutrients. After the tulips are cut, the plant continues to grow leaves for around 6 to 8 weeks. During this period, the tulip leaves continue to photosynthesize, helping the bulb underground accumulate nutrients. In the summer, when the tulip leaves have fully dried and turned yellow, this is a sign that the bulbs have reached their maximum size and are ready to be harvested. The tulip bulb harvester is specially designed to gently lift the bulbs from the soil without damaging them. The system uses blades to dig up the soil, pulling the bulbs out of the ground. The conveyor then transfers them to the cleaning units. This process removes soil, roots, and other impurities attached to the bulbs. After being cleaned, they are transferred to a storage bin at the back of the machine. Next, farmers take them to the processing plant for a series of steps to ensure the bulbs are well preserved. A water spraying system gently washes the bulbs, ensuring they are clean and free of impurities. They are then meticulously inspected for any abnormalities or diseases. Farmers separate the healthy bulbs, which are stored in warehouses. High-quality tulip bulbs are used for the next planting season. The machine has an automatic system that deposits the tulip bulbs from the storage bin into pre-prepared planting trenches. This ensures the bulbs are evenly distributed and planted at the correct density. It also has the capacity to plant thousands of bulbs per hour. Huge machines move across large fields in a short amount of time, ensuring that the coffee is harvested promptly at the right level of ripeness. The gentle shaking process targets only the ripe coffee cherries, protecting the trees from damage and allowing them to continue growing for future harvest seasons. Though simple in design, the machine can replace even the most delicate harvesting tasks. Coffee harvesters are typically equipped with shaking rods. This structure helps gently harvest the coffee cherries, keeping the trees safe and maintaining the quality of the fruit. As the machine moves into the rows of coffee trees, shaking or vibrating components are adjusted to gently shake the coffee branches. This causes the ripe coffee cherries to fall from the tree. The machine is designed to focus only on the ripe ones, minimizing the risk of picking the unripe. After the coffee is shaken or vibrated loose, they are collected in containers below. Usually, the machine has a system of gathering plates or conveyor belts to collect the fallen beans and transfer them to the next processing step. The machine can also be integrated with preliminary cleaning systems that remove leaves, branches, or other impurities that may have been collected during the harvesting process. This reduces the workload for coffee processing later on. The harvester can operate continuously for long periods without tiring, unlike manual labor. This helps increase productivity and profits for farmers. Another mechanical device favored by farmers is the onion harvester. Before the machine is put into operation, the onions are typically pre-treated and the soil is loosened to facilitate the harvesting process. The onion harvester is equipped with components similar to plow blades. These parts are adjusted to be gentle but effective in uprooting the onions. After loosening, the onions are lifted from the ground. During this process, the machine retains a portion of the soil around the onions to prevent bruising or damage. Once the onions are uprooted, the conveyor system transports them through preliminary cleaning components. Here, soil and onion leaves clinging to the bulbs are removed through a vibrating mechanism. This reduces the processing work needed later at the factory. The sorting system uses conveyors to determine the size and direct the onions accordingly. Smaller or substandard onions are discarded, reducing the workload for processing. After the onions are cleaned and sorted, they are transported further along the conveyor to storage bins or large containers. The conveyors are designed to transport the onions without causing bruising or damage. When harvesting by hand, there are often risks of bruising or missing onions, but with a harvester, these issues are significantly minimized. Since the uprooting and handling process is automated, the quality of the onions is ensured. This is especially important for those meant for export or fresh sales. The harvester increases work efficiency, allowing farmers to harvest more quickly. This is particularly valuable during seasons when harvesting time is limited by weather conditions or market demands. In addition, modern machines are equipped with sensors that automatically adjust the depth of the plow teeth based on the soil's hardness. They can also be used on different types of terrain, helping farmers save on equipment investment costs.